Can I ask a question? Thank you. My turn.
Hey, I got a question over here.
Go ahead, Elizabeth.
Question.
Oof, big night tonight. You've been on a journey to get to this stage and join the WNBA sisterhood. Who is a player that, if you could choose, you would want to play with this summer?
Ooh, easy answer for me. Asia Wilson. I know that she's technically still playing, but with everything that she's accomplished so far, she is a legend to me. That is legend status. And I want to put in that same work. You know, use my skills on both ends of the court and lead this franchise to multiple championships.
I mean, she is a star in this league, and the game is better for having her in it. Have you thought about what you're going to say when that interaction happens?
Wow. I wish that I could sit here and tell you that I'd be a poised young lady. But she actually came and gave a talk at my school one year, and to be really honest with you, I can't tell you a word she said. I just couldn't hear her over the sounds of my internal screams. Just like one big loud scream, just on a loop the entire time. So yeah, I'm not super optimistic about keeping my cool. But I would love to ask for a jersey or a signature or something, though. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be absolutely fine.
Thank you.
On another note, the league is at a fascinating growth point right now, with viewership skyrocketing. How much of the WNBA did you watch growing up? And does the history of the game inform at all where you want to land?
Look, if I could wave a magic wand and get the Houston Comets back, oh, that would be my choice. Line me up. Cheryl Swoops, Tina Thompson, Cynthia Cooper, and I would just be in basketball paradise. Exactly, yes. But no, all jokes aside, it's really just such an honor to be considered by all these franchises.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited to be walking the road that all these legends paved before me.
Over here.
The spotlight has definitely been on women's sports these last years. How much do you think that on-court rivalries play a factor in the growth of the league? And do you think that these storylines are good for the game?
Oh, I love the way that stories are being told right now. And I think that has fueled those rivalries that you're talking about. You know, look at Angel and Caitlin. They faced off in the national championship in college, and their fans have followed them to the WNBA. You know, every matchup between those two is must-see TV. And the Fever and Sky have two of the hottest tickets in the sport right now. And when the Aces and Liberty assembled all that star power a couple years back, every matchup between them was called the Battle of the Super Teams, just pulling in huge ratings, huge numbers. And my grandma wouldn't be able to follow anything that was happening on the court, but I'll tell you, she knows all the tea. She definitely knows all the tea. And I think all these rivalries are just another entry point for the fans.
Yeah, totally agree there. Unfortunately, you just missed sharing the court with the WNBA's all-time leading scorer, Diana Taurasi, who played in the league from 2004 to 2024. She brought a ton of that spice you were talking about for so long. Now, what part of her legacy speaks to you the most?
I know I'm young, but I've definitely got some of those old school values too. And I can't look at DT's career without thinking about how she stuck it all out with one organization the entire time. It's so rare today. But you see why they're both so beloved by those communities, you know, who really embraced them and gave them a second home. And obviously it's out of my control, but I would love to make a connection like that for the long term.
Yeah. For the fans who might not know you yet, what do they need to know, either on or off the court?
Well, you know, being a professional athlete is about more than just buckets. You know, play like Paige on the court, but you can make an impact like Tamika Catchings or swing cash off of it. And it's so important for me to show up in the community, for me to be a role model for all these young girls and boys to look up to. You know, I want to be a regular at the local coffee shop. You know, I want to run a basketball camp locally every off season. When a team is drafting me, I want them to know that I plan on representing my city every moment I'm awake.
I heard that. Okay, so I want to shift gears quickly for a couple of rapid fire questions so new fans can get to know you. First, when it comes to a city, do you prefer a bigger metropolis vibe or a smaller, more intimate one?
Oh, for as long as I can remember, I have wanted to be on the biggest stage possible. And in my mind, that extends beyond the arena. You know, I want a crowd everywhere I walk, team billboards up all over, restaurants open late so I can snag a bite after game night wraps up. You know, I love the hum of a big city. I love it. The pulse of the people. I feed off of that energy. So, big city.
Let's keep this one easy. Favorite color?
Ooh, purple. It's got this royal vibe, you know, like this air of importance. And every time I rock something in that color, it fills me with confidence. And when you think about the WNBA, you think Lisa Leslie, Brittany Griner, Chicha Penachero. A lot of legacy in that color.
That's right.
Know what I mean?
Okay, how about this? On a day when you've got nothing scheduled and you can just relax on the couch, what is your go-to cheat meal?
Tacos. Zero hesitation. Final answer. They're like, honestly, the perfect vehicle for protein. Like, you can just mix and match depending on the vibe of the day, any meal of the day. You can eat on the go. Super versatile.
True.
Kind of like I am on the court. Trying and failing to keep it professional up here.
Okay, I'm definitely not trying to get you in trouble. Okay, let's bring it on back to basketball. Let me ask you, does it matter to you where you're selected in the draft order?
Yes and no. How is that for an answer? Look, this is the toughest professional league in the world when it comes to cracking a roster, and it just keeps getting harder and harder the further you are along in the draft order. And there was that documentary, the 144, a few years back, and I know we're up to 156 for the Valkyries, but still. That being said, if you presented me with the option between a high draft number and a strong fit within an organization where I can really, you know, see my game blossom while I adjust to the pro level, I would take that second option every time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.